Mr. Joari. Mr. Brock, please, for 5.
Thank you, Chair. To the Auditor General, we talked yesterday at Public Accounts regarding performance bonuses at PHAC, that during this boondoggle that wasted over $60 million of taxpayer funds, they wanted to reward themselves with bonuses to the tune of almost $340,000. When I asked Erin O'Gorman, president of the CBSA, she was hesitant to provide me with details. As part of your mandate, did you uncover any evidence to suggest that Ms. O'Gorman and other senior executives and other employees of the CBSA had bonused themselves while fleecing taxpayers?
So when we looked at this, we weren't looking at HR matters or compensation, so I have no comments to provide on that.
I want to focus in on 1.44 of your report that talks about you not examining any work around ethics and code of conduct because of the RCMP investigation and the internal investigation. Now, you must be aware that the internal investigation has absolutely nothing to do with the ArriveCAN work that you looked at. It has everything to do with a bottler complaint that was received in November of 2022. Was that explained to you?
So the internal investigation, as my understanding, is looking into conduct and ethics of certain individuals, and I believed it extends beyond bottler, but I didn't look at all the details, so maybe I'll ask Andrew if he can add something there.
Thank you. And just as a preliminary comment here, we deliberately did not share the preliminary document with the Auditor General for the purposes of maintaining independence and objectivity, impartiality in the work.
Excuse me, you're talking about the preliminary statement of fact?
That's right.
Okay, was that shared with you?
Yes, I've read it carefully.
Okay.
Yep.
And you did not share that with Ms. Hogan?
No.
Okay. But you would agree with me, Mr. Hayes, that it really has nothing to do with the ArriveCAN per se, but the handling of contracts related to another software company out of Montreal by the name of Bottler.
So what I would say about the preliminary document, which I'm hesitant to call a statement of fact because there are still procedural things.
This is more like it.
Our understanding is that the individuals against whom allegations have been made have not responded yet. So at this point in time, we consider that document to be preliminary and are not really relying on it as a authoritative document.
Just want to focus. This has really had nothing to do with the ArriveCAN app per se, but a secondary issue. And that secondary issue was also referred to the RCMP. So I just want to make abundantly clear with you, Ms. Hogan. In my view, there was absolutely no legal impediment for you to examine any sort of criminality or any suspicions regarding criminality because your audit on the ArriveCAN was really not the focus by the RCMP, as confirmed by the Liberal bench numerous times, that the RCMP are not investigating ArriveCAN, but rather Bottler, and the internal investigation likewise. So my question to you is very simple. Take that away. Take the RCMP away. Take the internal investigation away. You have a mandate, I believe, that if you uncover or have any suspicions regarding criminality, you must report that to the RCMP. I believe Mr. Hayes shared that with me at an earlier appearance. So take those two concepts away. Given the gross breach of trust by public officials, elements of fraud and forgery, were there any red flags, any suspicions that you would have deemed to be appropriate to report to the RCMP?
So this was a bit of an unusual situation. The way you described it is absolutely correct. If we found that there was evidence that caused us to believe that law enforcement should be involved, we would refer a matter to the RCMP. In this situation, I didn't have to turn my mind there, as the RCMP was already potentially looking at a matter related to contracting from the CBSA. So I met with the RCMP.
Yes.
And I talked to them in generalities about our findings because our report had not yet been made public, and said to them once it was made public, if they would like to have access to our file to see our evidence, that they should send me a production order.
So at this point, you did not specifically refer any allegations to the RCMP, is that correct?
Correct, as I said,
Okay.
because they were already
Understand.
investigating a contracting
Sure,
matter.
understand. In
That
light
is-
of what we
I'm sorry,
heard
that is
today,
our time, Mr. Brock.
that GC Strategies has been billing.
Mr. Brock, that
tax-
is our time. I'm sorry. Mr.